Hey guys, what up? JY, the Catalyst, out with a quick, unrehearsed, unscripted. I just finished God moding, guys. Just finished my workout and listening to some good stuff as I always do, and some good stuff came out of that. And in today's video, I want to talk about. I've spoken about this before, but I just want to expand on it a little bit more, and that is the mindset. You know, the different levels of consciousness, and the best way. Because I'm always looking for ways that I can explain things so that it's easily to digest. Because when you're first getting into this personal development stuff and first getting into this mindset development stuff, it can be very daunting and very overwhelming because you're listening to stuff that's not in the mainstream and you're learning things that is not normally taught in schools. So I'm always looking for ways that I can simplify things and explain things in the best possible way. And in my thinking today, guys, this is how I looked at it: is that your subconscious mind is no different to a freeway, to a major freeway. Think of your city that you live in and think of the busiest freeway that it has, right? I'm going to try not to digress because there's a lot going through my head, but basically, imagine that you're trying to cross this freeway, and on one side of the freeway is where you're at currently, and on the other side of the freeway is everything that you want and everything that you're trying to get to. Now, the best time to cross this freeway is when it's the least busiest, or when it's the quietest, because there's less traffic. Less traffic means less risk or less chance of being hit when you've got cars traveling at 100, 110 kilometers an hour, and there's a lot of those cars. It's very risky, so you're risking of getting run over. But when you wait for the traffic to die down and there's less cars, you can safely navigate from one side to the other with least amount of risk. And then the more patience you have, the more patience you have, the less that traffic becomes. And this is no different to our subconscious mind, guys. Is that think of our conscious and our subconscious. So think of our conscious mind as peak hour traffic. There's lots of cars. We've got to be careful. We've got to be alert. We've got to be on the ball, because if we're not, we're going to get run over. So we've got to be very alert. So when we're at this level, guys, it's very hard for us to stop and actually think about what it is that we want out of our lives. Because everything that we want, we already have. We just have to think about it long enough for it to manifest in our reality. So what we have to do, guys, is we have to wait till this traffic dies down a little bit. And this is what happens when we start falling asleep. See, as we start falling lower and lower into the subconscious, guys, there's less and less traffic. So we've got all this traffic up here. So if you think of this triangle, there's all this traffic up here going on. And then as we get sleepier and sleepier, the deeper we get into that subconscious mind, the less traffic there is. There's not much thoughts going on. There's not much noise. There's not much distractions, which means we can really focus in on what it is that we want and plant the seed at that level and then safely walk across. So rather than risking being run over, rather than having to run across, rather than having to put everything on the line in order for us to achieve what it is we're trying to achieve, if we just develop some patience and calm ourselves down and know that we will eventually get to the other side of the road, just by creating some patience and understanding of this concept, and then we can just walk across the road and take our time walking across the road. And taking everything and really enjoy and be in the present moment, guys. So rather than always rushing, and this is typical of human behavior as well. I mean, you think of major cities. There are cities that never go to sleep, and all you need to do is think of the stress levels that are surrounding those cities. You think of all the big cities like New York and Tokyo and wherever there's cities that never sleep, and the amount of stress and the hustle and bustle that goes on, and the levels of stress that those people are under, just explains human behavior. And then the further you go away from the city, the calmer things become. The happier people seem to be. The less stress there is. Because I don't know about you guys, but success to me isn't having everything and not enjoying any of it. Success to me is having everything and enjoying everything. Stress-free, without stress, and being in the moment, being healthy, enjoying life for what life has to offer at that point in time. Applying this concept and understanding this concept, guys, allows you to be in the present moment and enjoy everything that life has to offer. So apply this concept next time you're trying to cross an obstacle or cross a hurdle. Just ask yourself, is this the right time to be crossing this hurdle? Should I just maybe wait for the traffic to die down a little bit so that I can make it across safely? And this is the beautiful thing about the conscious and the subconscious mind, guys, because everything we do, 95% of what we do on a subconscious level. We don't even know that we're doing it. And the subconscious level, guys, is when there's least amount of traffic. So all we need to do, understanding this concept, all we need to do is just sit down, reflect, and relax and think, get ourselves into that subconscious state where we can actually think about what it is that we want. Because all we're trying to do is we're trying to feel for emotions, because thoughts mixed with emotions lead to actions. And all we need to do is we need to find these thoughts. And the only way we're going to find these thoughts is if we quieten the traffic and lessen the thoughts. And when we quieten these thoughts, we can hone in on single thoughts that cause an emotion. Because emotions then emotions lead to actions. You know, when we have a feeling, we act on that feeling. And all we're trying to do is we're trying to come up with this emotion that causes us a feeling within who we are, inside of us. You know, you feel this shiver almost of emotions, a surge of emotions that bursts inside of the body. And then that's when you know you've just hit the right thought on the head. And then at that point there, guys, you can be assured that it will manifest. Your only job is to keep thinking about that same feeling, trying to bring that same feeling back on, because we know that feelings ultimately lead to actions. So like I said, I've digressed a little bit, guys, but basically, to recap this video, is quieten the mind. That's why I wake up early. You know, there's another video that I did, is why I get up early. You know, why I start my days at 3 and 4 in the morning is because at that time there, that's when the freeway is the quietest. You know, I can take charge of my own mind before the world wakes up and takes charge of my mind and direct my day. I can direct my own day. I can focus on what it is that I want to be, do and have for everything in my life. And I can direct my thoughts and I can direct my attention to better serve me, people that I love, people that I care about, and humanity in general, guys, because then it's just a matter of following through with those thoughts. You know, once again, I sit there and I try and hit that emotion, hit that feeling, so that I can take the right action towards what is ultimately going to fulfill me and my purpose here on earth. So guys, if you watched this far, I really appreciate you spending the time watching. Share this video with somebody who you think might get something out of it. I'm all for putting out free content. I'm all for putting out a good message. I'm all for putting out some positivity in a negative world that we live in. So share, hit like. You can go to my YouTube channel, guys, and you'll find the links on some of these videos anyway. If you go to my YouTube channel, there's a lot more of these videos on there, and you can just, I guess, you know, watch as you like and try and take something out of it, because I've been listening to personal development and mindset work for the last 17 years of my life, guys, and I continue and I will continue on learning and developing my mindset, my understanding of human behavior and neuroscience in the brain. And the more I learn, the more I will share with you guys, so you can you know, tap into that knowledge, and if it makes sense, fantastic, and if it doesn't, or just disregard it and move on. There's a lot of content on social media and online in general, guys, so as long as you're listening to some good stuff on a daily basis and practicing some of this mindfulness stuff, meditating on a daily basis, and just forcing yourself into that calm state of mind where you can actually focus in on what it is that you want out of this life. Once again, thanks for watching, guys. JY the Catalyst, helping you unleash your full potential and having all that you deserve in this world. Peace out.